All right, here is a wild perspective shifting reality for you. An AI model doesn't actually understand a single word you say to it. I mean, not at first anyway. Out of the box, it starts its life as a completely raw, chaotic prediction machine. Welcome back to NextGen AI Tech. I'm your host, Elah, and today we're bringing you an explainer that breaks down the three distinct, kind of hidden stages of training that actually turn a blank slate neural network into those incredibly useful AI assistants we literally rely on every single day.
You know, it's so easy to just type a prompt into a chatbot and feel like there's a real human mind on the other side, comprehending your every word. But if we look at the source material detailing how these large language models are actually built, we see that out of the box, AI has absolutely zero true comprehension. None. To become a helpful assistant, it has to go through three sequential, carefully orchestrated stages of training. And if you skip even one, the whole illusion just completely falls apart.
So let's get right into it with stage 1, pre-training.
Okay, this is the absolute foundation. This is where the raw blank slate model is officially born. To understand pre-training, think of a really simple analogy. Imagine sending the AI to read almost the entire internet. We're talking books, websites, articles, raw code, the whole shebang. And it does this just to learn how grammar, facts, and basic reasoning work. There's no teacher grading it on specific tasks. Instead, it's basically playing a massive, endless game of fill-in-the-blank, constantly guessing the next word in a sentence over and over again, literally trillions of times.
So during this process, the AI is ingesting massive amounts of raw, completely unstructured data. Now, what's really fascinating here is that during this massive ingestion phase, the AI has absolutely no concept of right or wrong. It doesn't know what's true or what's false. It is simply a highly advanced pattern-matching engine just absorbing human language. It's incredibly smart, sure, but entirely undirected at this point.
Moving right along to stage 2, fine-tuning. Okay, so we have this massive, intelligent, but totally wild pattern-matching engine, right? Now we need to tame our unpredictable model so it can actually be useful to us. And that brings us to supervised fine-tuning, or SFT. Let's strip away the jargon for a second. If pre-training is like letting the AI randomly read the whole internet, SFT is like sending that AI to a specialized trade school. We stop feeding it random internet text and we start feeding it highly curated, expert-labeled examples of instructions along with the perfect, ideal responses to those instructions. We're essentially teaching it structured behaviors. There's actually a great quote straight from our MarkTech Post source material that perfectly nails this concept. It says, "While pre-training teaches the model how language works, SFT teaches it how to behave." It's so true. Through supervised fine-tuning, the AI actually learns empathy, it learns conversational structure, and it learns the appropriate tone for a given task. Seriously, just look at the difference here. On the left, we've got the output of a purely pre-trained model. You say to it, "I can't log in," and because it's just predicting the next text it saw on some random forum, it bluntly spits out, "Try resetting your password." Super unhelpful. But on the right, after supervised fine-tuning, you get a helpful assistant that says, "I'm sorry you're facing this issue. You can try resetting your password." See that? It has learned the actual structure of good customer service. So boom, we are successfully turning a chaotic knowledge base into something task-ready. The AI can now follow instructions. But wait, there's a catch. While it definitely knows how to follow the format of an instruction now, it still might not fully align with complex human social nuances. I mean, it might confidently give you a perfectly formatted, super polite answer that is actually incredibly dangerous or just completely made up out of thin air.
Actually, before we look at how we fix that final hurdle, I want to ask you all a quick question. Did you assume AI just understood language the way humans do right out of the box before watching this? Be honest. Drop down into the comments and let me know what your initial assumptions were. I think it's just so fascinating how these models trick our brains into thinking they're human right from step 1.
All right, that brings us to stage 3, human alignment. Let's get into the final, absolutely critical stage. This right here is the secret sauce that creates the safe, friendly chatbots we actually interact with today, like ChatGPT or Claude. The main technique used here is an intimidating little acronym, RLHF, which stands for Reinforcement Learning from Human Feedback. But hey, don't let the technical terms scare you off. Simply put, RLHF is basically teaching the AI social manners through a system of human-driven rewards. We are aligning its vast knowledge with what real humans actually find helpful and safe.
And here is exactly how that works in practice. Real human reviewers are brought in to read multiple different AI responses to the exact same prompt. The humans then evaluate and rank those outputs. They're sitting there deciding which response is funnier, which one is safer, or which one is just genuinely more helpful to the user. Now, all of those human rankings don't just get dumped into a spreadsheet somewhere. They are used to train a secondary AI called a reward model. You can think of this reward model as basically an automated judge that has learned human tastes. It continuously loops back to evaluate the main AI, optimizing its behavior based on what it knows we humans prefer. It's just this constant, incredible loop of trial, evaluation, and improvement.
Ultimately, the goal of RLHF is safety and alignment. It acts as this crucial shield that bridges the massive gap between the raw, unfiltered intelligence gathered from the entire internet and real-world safety. It's the specific mechanism that steps in and stops the AI from generating toxic or dangerous answers when a user asks a highly sensitive question.
Let's wrap this up with the complete training recipe. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the entire life cycle of the AI model. We've gone from a total blank slate to a highly polished assistant. Here is the mental model I really want you to walk away with today. First, pre-training, where the AI learns raw prediction and absorbs general world knowledge. Second, fine-tuning, where we shape that raw knowledge to perform specific tasks and follow instructions. And finally, RLHF, where we align the AI to human values, making it safe, polite, and truly helpful. What's really crazy here is realizing just how fragile this entire recipe is. If you skip pre-training, you have absolutely no baseline intelligence. The model quite literally knows nothing. If you skip fine-tuning, you have random, unhelpful chaos. It might just quote a Wikipedia page at you instead of actually answering your question. And if you skip RLHF, you have a model that might be highly capable, but is fundamentally unsafe and completely misaligned with human values. Every single one of these stages is non-negotiable. Well, I really hope this explainer completely shifted how you view the AI tools you use every single day. They aren't magic, right? They are the result of 3 incredible stages of human engineering. But it does make you wonder, as these models get exponentially smarter, what is stage 4 going to look like? Will human feedback even be enough to keep them aligned in the future? Something to think about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown valuable, please go ahead and hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe to NextGen AI Tech for more clear breakdowns of how AI actually works. See you next time.